Hello folks, again I am here to present you a very important topic regarding Hive, like what's the properties it have and how does it work. So before going on any hands-on, first of all we have to understand basically what is Hive. Hive is basically a data warehouse on the HDFS, and it is something different from SQL, because SQL is purely a database, but Hive is a data warehouse on the top of the HDFS. Whatever we do in Hive, so it will impact the HDFS at the back end. So you can see my screen. I have opened the Hive shell. You can enter in the Hive shell by simply typing the Hive. Okay, you can see here Hive shell is open now. Yeah, Hive is open. So like if we want to do some work in the Hive shell, it is working like a SQL. It is not a purely SQL, but it's working like a SQL. In this Hive shell we can create a databases, tables, and we can create a tables. Various functions are there we can do in the Hive shell. So it is the Hive shell. So first of all we see, we need to suppose we want to create a table or any directory or some work we want to execute in this Hive shell. So we have to create some databases. We have to do this in this Hive shell. Okay, so first of all we check how many databases are in this Hive shell. So databases, it will show how many databases are there is, uh, uh, three databases are there by default databases is always situated in the Hive shell. So suppose uh, besides this we create a database suppose LTB. When we create this database, you can see there is some changes in the at the back end of the HDFS, and we can validate it by entering in the Cloudera like Hadoop fs -ls. Yeah, Hive has its own specialty because it has its own personal loom that is called user Hive warehouse. It is Hive's personal directory. So you can see we just create a database LTB. Then you can see here a ltb.db will create, this directory will create when we create the database. Okay, ltb.db. Initially there were two directory, ATB and ZTB were located, but now when we create LTB database in Hive like this, you can see here create database LTB. So it will impact at the back end in the HDFS. Okay, so whatever we do in the Hive, it will impact at the back end basically. So suppose, yeah, I want to tell you two things about Hive. If we want to create a table in Hive, then obviously what it will do, actually we will create a table with location and without location. Actually Hive says, if you want to create a table and you will not provide any directory to me, then I will create my own directory in the name of table. But suppose if you give me some location like user Hive, user Cloudera, home Cloudera. We create some directory in the HDFS, and we will create a table on the top of this directory, and definitely it will get pointed. So we have to understand this by proper hands-on. So you can see, assume in Cloudera, you can see a L, by putting ls command, you can see a allc file is here. Okay, so we can read it by using the cat command allc. So there are 4 columns: id 1 2 3 4 5 4 6, name Sai, Jio, Hema, Gomti, Jaya, Swati, and check. Check means initial I, K, K, S, S, and the country name IND, IND, UK, UK. So this data putting in my home Cloudera. We can also use the proper absolute path, home Cloudera. Okay. Oh, sorry, home Cloudera all C. All C. Yeah, you can give this path also. This is the absolute path. Okay, so you can see the allc file. Allc file is sitting in my home Cloudera. So suppose we create a table. Suppose create table L tab, and I will give these 4 columns names: ID, name, check, and country. Now give its data type int, name string. We generally use string in Hive for our special for our characters and names. String. In SQL we use varchar for string. So this is the basic template I am writing down here. Row format, delimited fields. I will make you understand why I am writing this for fields. Row field terminated by comma. Okay, so what does this mean? We are creating a table L tab because we want to load this data, this one, and it has 4 columns. We already know ID, name, check, and country. So we have to create 4 columns: ID, name string, check string, and country string. Row format means it is the proper CSV file format, and between 2 columns there is a comma, so we have to separate it by delimiter comma. So this is the basic template in Hive to create a table. Create table L tab, ID int, string check, check string, country string, row format delimit fields terminated by comma. But while we just creating a table, we are not giving any location here, like this. Location, like file is sitting in home Cloudera, like home Cloudera, and any directory. So we are not giving any location here. So Hive says I will get pointed, this table will get pointed on the top of a particular directory, but you will not give any directory. Then obviously I will create my own directory in the name of table, this L tab. L tab is table name, but I will create a directory on in the name of this table at the back end. We can check it. So we just shoot it. Okay, you can see table is created, but location is not given, so it will create a directory in the name of table L tab. We can uh, validate it in like this. Hadoop FS user warehouse. Inside you can see where what is our database, ltb.db. Inside this, because we are working in the ltb database, ltb.db. Yeah, now you can see a ltab directory is created here. Okay, so now our table is ready. It is virtual in nature basically. So Hive says if we create a database, suppose LTB we have created, then it will create a directory at the backend. Okay, but when we create a table inside this, like create table LTab, ID and name, string, check, string, then immediately you can see a directory we create in the name of table LTab. Okay, inside this database. So now we load this data in this table. Now if we check the data inside this L tab, select star from L tab, you will see there is no records right now, but we want to load this all C. Suppose we want to load all C data inside this table, then obviously we can use this template load data local, because our data is sitting in the local file system home Cloudera. Okay, local in path. Where is our path? That is home Cloudera all C, and we want to load this data into which table? Into table LTab. So we are loading this data in this LTab table, but where our data is sitting? In home Cloudera all C. So we just shoot this query. Yeah, it's okay now. Now we can validate it. This table, select from LTab. Yeah, you can see the data. Obviously, it is comma delimiter comma. It's now we can perform any query from this table. Select star from LTab. Suppose we need ID. Select ID from LTab, and it will give you the ID, all the ID. Select, if we suppose ID and name, now we can perform the query as well as we run when in this same as in the SQL query we can perform in the Hive also. Okay, now while we creating this table, we have not given any location. Okay, so suppose we provide some location. Suppose location is if we want to create any directory, we just given a directory in HDFS. So first of all, we create an directory in the HDFS Hadoop fs -mkdir user Cloudera, suppose ldir, directory is ldir. Okay, now ldir is created. How can we validate it? Hadoop fs -ls user Cloudera. Inside user Cloudera, you can see a directory we create in the name of ldir. Okay, this directory is now empty. There is no file in this ldir directory. So we just put by hyphen put, we can use absolute path. Okay, home Cloudera all.c file user Cloudera LDIR. Okay, so if we want to import a file from local to HDFS, from local file system to HDFS, we can use put command. Through put command, this home Cloudera all.c file just copy and just import it to the in this directory user Cloudera LDIR. Okay, by shooting this command, we can see now user Cloudera LDIR is there. Okay, inside LDIR now you can see a file all.c is now imported. Okay, all.c. Okay, if we want to read this file, obviously for reading we use cat command. So in this case, now my file is sitting, all.c file is sitting in user Cloudera in the LD directory, and this is the location now, user Cloudera LD. Suppose now if we want to create a table, first we just draw, no, we just want to create a table. Yeah, create table. Suppose tab 1, and through 4 columns are given: id, name, int, name string, check string, country string, row format, delimit fields, row format delimited fields terminated by comma. Now in this situation I am also providing a location. Location is user Cloudera LD. So this table tab 1 will create on top of this directory, and inside this directory our all.c file is sitting. Okay, so now shoot it this command. Okay, user, sorry, create table tab 1, int, name string, check string, row format fields, yeah, com. Location, I have not given location. We have to give the location. Yeah, now the table we create. Okay, so now we validate this table. Select asterisk from tab 1. You can see this table is empty now, right now, because we do not load this data in this table, so it will show the data. Select asterisk from tab 1. So you can see the we have understand about the Hive specialty, that two things you have to know basically about Hive. First thing, Hive says if we create any table, then it required a directory to get pointed. In this regarding, we have not given any location to get pointed this table, so it goes in Hive warehouse and create a directory in the name of table. Okay, and suppose we just provide any location, then it says I will create a table on the top of this location and act accordingly. It will get pointed on the given location, that was user Cloudera LD. So we can load the data by two ways. So again in future I will tell you about what type of table it has, like managed table, managed table or external table. So there are one thing is common in between two tables, uh, that is the drop functionality. Suppose if we create a managed table and we suppose drop the table, then the directory will got deleted. Okay, and if we create an external table, then definitely if we drop the table, then the directory will get exist, still exist in this parameter. So by describe formatted alt tab, we can know about the properties of this table. You can see here, this is on what directory it is located. It is user hive warehouse, and alt tab is the directory. So this is the managed table. The main problem with the managed table, if we drop the table, then directory which is associated with this table got deleted. Okay, and if we describe formatted alt tab 1, this is also a managed table. You can see here, and on what directory it create, user Cloudera LD, because we have created the LD directory in the HDFS, so it gets pointed on this directory, but it is managed table basically. So suppose you can see in Hadoop fs -ls, like user Cloudera inside LD directory, also is there. Okay, so now I just drop the table alt tab 1, drop table alt tab 1 on what directory it creates, that is the LD. If we drop the table alt tab 1, now you can see at the backend the user Cloudera, now there is no LD directory because we have dropped the table. Okay, so this is the specialty of Hive table creation. If we create a managed table, by default it is managed table, but we have to create external table for creating that external table. And in Hive, suppose we drop the table alt tab that is created on the user hive warehouse. You can see we just drop the table, and inside user hive warehouse you can see -ls user hive warehouse. Our alt tab directory got deleted. Suppose now you can see ltb.db directory is situated here. So suppose we drop the database also, drop database ldb. LDB, sorry, LTB drop database LTB. The database dropped. Now you can see in cloud user Hive warehouse. Now LTB database got deleted because by default it creates managed table. Okay, so these are the some properties of the Hive table. So we can create a table on the top of without location and with location. If we provide with location, by default it will create managed table. But if we want to create any table, we have to put only external. In that case, external, yeah, this template will use create external table. If we suppose we drop the table, then directory will exist. No directory will delete it if we drop the table. So this is the specialty of external table. Okay, hope you understand all this theory. So these are the specialty. Once again I am telling you that Hive is basically it is a data warehouse on HDFS. If we want to whatever we do in the Hive table, in Hive shell, it will impact the HDFS, and it is a basically useful for structured data, semi-structured data, or also useful for serialized data. Okay, like Avro, Parquet, but it is no Hive is not basically useful for the small data purpose. So we can perform various query on that situation. Thank you for watching this video. I will give you another output and presenting you some another video on the external table and the managed table. Thank you very much.